Hey guys, welcome to Steph Sells Homes podcast. Today we have a very, very special guest, good friend of mine. He is a real estate investor, real estate attorney. He's also the CEO of ADUOZ Fund, which is a great, great strategy. And I'm super excited to talk to you guys about this today. We got a lot of hot topics, a lot of creative financing, exit strategies, and just a lot of great things around ADUs. And as you guys know, a lot of my podcast is dedicated to the ADU community, helping you guys by curating a network of professionals in the industry who can help you with those goals. So I want to welcome Adam Stone. Welcome, Adam. How are you doing today? Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Steph Sells Homes podcast. Another episode brought to you by ADU Insider. ADU Insider is an awesome blog and network of professionals within the space who you can connect with, collaborate with, and we hope that you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hey, Steph, thanks for having me. I'm really glad that you can have me on the show. I love the show.
Thank you so much. Yeah, no, I know you've been a huge supporter. Adam and I have shared some stages on Clubhouse. That's actually where we met. And we share the whole ADU passion in common. So I wanted to have him on the show so he can talk to us and educate us. I want you guys to learn today about opportunity zones, how we can implement this in our strategy when we're investing, potential buyers, for those realtors who follow me, for your clients, your investors. This is something that you guys definitely should be talking about. And so let's get to it. So, Adam, can you tell us a little bit more about the ADUOZ fund? And, I looked into it. I think it's a great strategy. And I just want the audience to kind of get an idea of what it is that you guys are doing out there. What's your mission and what's the goal?
Great. And thanks for having me again. So, in a nutshell, our mission is to add dwelling units to help alleviate the housing crisis that our country's going through. And, the Opportunity Zone program is a tax program that's based under the IRS code, Internal Revenue Service federal code, which designates over 8,000 tracts of land throughout the country. Now, these tracts are geared towards um, new development because they're based in areas usually of higher poverty rates, lower incomes, and some of the other traits of neighborhoods that are going through some troubles and need revitalization. So, our program really is geared towards adding housing in a way that takes advantage of what the laws are already geared towards. And a lot of those laws right now in California, our target market of San Diego, where we're based out of, are through accessory dwelling units. And the laws really geared towards accessory dwelling unit development and value add through that model. So it's been a perfect storm in terms of how the state laws, the local laws related to accessory dwelling units have allowed us to mesh those almost seamlessly with the laws geared around opportunity zones and the substantial improvement in some of the other compliance requirements for successful opportunity zone investment. So that's where we've put this all together. My partner Matt Williams and I, and the ADUOZ fund is off and running in terms of acquiring new projects and doing what we can to help solve this mission.
I love it. I mean, I'm telling you, when I read about it and then learned more about what you were doing, I was impressed. I mean, I was learning about opportunity zones, but then you learn
Mhm.
accessory dwelling units and in opportunity zones and the importance of that, especially for our communities and ways that we can help empower either current homeowners or future investors in these areas. So, thank you for breaking that down. Now, what led you to real estate? I know you started off as a realtor, right, or in real estate, and then a broker, and then real estate attorney, and then ADUOZ fund and investor. I mean, how did you tap into the space?
Well, they all kind of play off of each other. And I moved out to San Diego in 2009 for law school, California Western School of Law. And from there, I got more and more interested and involved in real estate in different areas. So a lot of my background has been in zoning regulations, getting entitlements, acquisition of properties, dealing with different disputes on the legal level as it relates to real estate. And then from there, getting my broker's license, gives you a lot more exposure to the real estate market, and gives you a lot better feel for, where the areas are of growth, where the areas are that are going to see, that next level in terms of revitalization, and what needs it, and what really are the areas that should be a focus for redevelopment and stuff like that. So, those two things really led me into the development space. I've always wanted to use, these tools to get into investment. And, like I said earlier, the laws have all come together over the past few years. The Opportunity Zone program is less than 5 years old. And then the new ADU regulations came out in 2019 and became effective in early 2020. So, things are very new on both fronts, which, has created a new surge in terms of opportunities and ways to build things together.
Yeah, I think it's great. Definitely everything seems to have aligned right within the ADU space for us here, both
Hmm.
locally, state, and just in these opportunity zones as well. So, a little breakdown as to how somebody can go about if they were, let's say, looking for an acquisition in an opportunity zone. What does that process look like? Can you give us a little breakdown and walk us through that process?
Sure. I mean, in terms of getting involved in an opportunity zone fund, I mean, there are maps, there are tools all over, and I'll share some resources for you in the show notes that we can allow people to go and search, the whole country for the areas that are designated in opportunity zones. So, finding where opportunity zones are is not that hard. The hard part, the challenge is putting together the fund, maintaining the fund, and, maintaining the compliance aspects to have the fund really reach its benefits. So, in terms of the compliance, the real estate side, the main pieces are: one, the property has to be located in an opportunity zone. Two, you have to substantially improve the property, which basically means you have to match the level of development, the money you put into the property, with the purchase price to the purchase price. So if you purchased a property for $500,000 in San Diego or any, opportunity zone tract, you'd have to put in at least 500,000 for it to meet that compliance metric. And then the third piece is for a long-term hold, while you're after you redevelop the property, to hold that property for an additional for a full term of 10 years before you're able to get the full benefits. And quickly through the benefits, there's an initial tax deferment. So if you are investing capital gains, if you're an eligible taxpayer, which can be an individual, a corporation, different entities, that fit that definition, then if you invest your capital gains, you have an immediate tax deferment through the end of 2026. And then if you hold for that full 10-year period, you have a step up in tax basis, which allows you to eliminate the tax on that asset, instead of just deferring it through like a 1031 or some other type of process.
That's a write-off?
Yeah.
Do you even know what a write-off is?
Yeah. It's when you buy something for your business and the government pays you back for it.
Oh, and who pays for it?
Nobody. You write it off.
Who writes it off?
So it's really a new level in terms of tax benefits, because there's an elimination aspect, not just a deferral aspect that you would see previously with 1031s and other things.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, you kind of touched on the next question that I was going to talk about, which was what are some of those tax incentives, but you kind of broke it down already for us, and that long-term hold is really the ideal situation, right? To leverage and take benefit of those tax incentives. So let's say I'm a new a new investor, but let's say I'm an investor who wants to do a 1031 exchange. Now, we've had several conversations on Clubhouse and in the opportunity zones. I learned more about the strategy and understood that not a lot of people are talking about it, just like a lot of people don't talk about ADUs and how to implement the strategy. Can you tell us and walk us through the pros and cons of, instead of doing a 1031 exchange, for those of you who are thinking of doing that, maybe you want to consider investing in an opportunity zone, and what would be some of those benefits, if you can help us understand that?
Yeah, I think in terms of the immediate benefits, you still have the tax deferment. So there is a deferral of your capital gain tax for what you're investing through, again, 2026. But the ultimate benefit is the ability to have your asset, the asset that you invest in, the asset you substantially improve. So you're doing a huge value add for whatever that piece of property is. Then you hold that property for a full 10 years while it appreciates, while it can generate monthly rent and other things and still gain value. The tax basis steps up after the end of that 10-year period when you eventually sell that asset, or you can hold beyond that period and still sell 10, 15 years after that. So there is the ability for you to have that deferment, but the tax elimination after holding for that 10-year period is the real difference and the huge benefit for those types of long-term investors.
Well, I hope that didn't go over anybody's head because it's a great strategy. I mean, the more and more you dissect it, you understand all of the benefits around it. And with ADUs being such a
Mhm.
hot topic right now, if somebody wanted to, let's say, invest in the ADUOZ fund, is there like a minimum requirement? What does that process look like if any investors were interested in tapping into ADUOZ fund?
Yeah, so our fund is open to accredited investors with capital gains, and if they have funds that aren't capital gains, they can invest those as well. The capital gains, that gets the tax benefit. We have multiple properties ongoing right now that are in the early stages that allow for that, again, that substantial improvement aspect. So we're excited to see where things are going, and a lot of the things that we're telling and not been telling, but talking to our investors about is just that education aspect. Because Stephanie, you hit it right on the head in terms of things being so new in this area. Between the the newness and the innovations in the accessory dwelling unit laws, and then the same thing for the opportunity zone program. There's a lot of just conversation in terms of what they both are, how they work together, how they coexist, and create a stronger investment instead of working against each other. So that aspect is something that we definitely want to emphasize and highlight with investors. The idea that if you're looking to become a long-term property holder, if you're looking to find something that can bring in monthly income through multiple units, the way that value add with accessory dwelling units can do that for just an investor in general, then pairing that with a long-term program like Opportunity Zone program, you're able to get a higher benefit off of that eventual sale. So, I think it is important for us to have these types of conversations. There are a lot of great resources out there, on Clubhouse, on the internet, through some of the groups that are on Clubhouse, like the Easy Do It team. They have almost a nightly Clubhouse room, and there are some other resources that are out there for people who want to learn more. And even our website, www.aduozfund.com, is able to walk you through the steps, walk you through our model, but also walk you through just the program itself. So, I think that is just a huge education aspect that we have to make sure is out there for people who are looking to invest in these types of benefits.
Well said. I mean, I agree with you 100%. I think the education aspect is where we begin, creating awareness. And both you and I have shared stages together, creating awareness around
Mm-hmm.
ADUs, which then, we help people shift their mindset into implementing that strategy. And then you take it a step further and say, okay, let me also explore the option of investing in an opportunity zone and explore the tax incentives, the just all the benefits that you just mentioned, which are great. And so I hope that we brought a lot of value to everybody today. Let's say a new investor in the multifamily space, what would be the ideal like investment property in an opportunity zone for an investor in the multifamily space? Because I know you guys are also looking to build. I read on your website you guys are building like micro communities, and so can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I think with the Opportunity Zone program, it gives a lot of flexibility because there are tracks all over the country. So, with what we're doing in San Diego, it works for San Diego's market because of the laws that are in play and the regulations that are in play. Now, what you're mentioning, Stephanie, in terms of, the micro communities, the modular communities, those are things that we're looking to as well. And, those are things that we can implement outside of San Diego's market and other places. So, I think the idea is having that flexibility when it's going, was geared towards how do you address the housing issues in this specific market based on the laws and regulations that are in play, just the physical circumstances and the layout of the city and what the city's needs now are in that areas, and putting something together that way. So for a new investor, depending on where they are and where their market is, if they're really looking to get involved with the opportunity zone, and specifically, I would suggest, reaching out to a fund like ours, or reaching out to a fund maybe they can find locally. There are databases out there, directories of funds that are already set up and registered. But, really gearing it toward finding a fund that is fitting their mission, fitting what they're looking to do from that investment perspective, and then, latching onto them and seeing where they can take it from there. Now, if they're doing it on their own, finding a property just in terms of what we're doing from our perspective of the build outs, I think, again, you're looking at trying to navigate the laws to know what is the highest and best use for the pieces of property you're coming across. And, with San Diego's laws, our model is geared around value add through accessory dwelling units, because the multifamily, or just the laws in general, pair well to allow for bonus ADUs, additional ADUs over the state allotments based on how you gear them, towards affordable housing and, lower incomes, but also in terms of where they're located. So, we're making sure to navigate the code, navigate, the available properties out there, our off-market resources, to pinpoint the exact locations that best suit, what we're looking to build out and how we're looking to turn, a single family house into 5, 10+ units, depending on where it's located and how it's situated.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that really broke it down, right? So what you're saying basically is educate yourself, understand the opportunity zones in your local market or the market you're thinking of investing in, and then partner up with somebody like you in the space, a professional who can walk you through the process from A to Z, from the acquisition to the exit strategy, right? And I think that's important. I think we should definitely vet everybody that we work with as well, which is why I decided to have Adam on here, because he's really like killing it in his space, and what he's doing is awesome for the community. So if any of you guys are interested, feel free to tap in with him. He's been an awesome resource for me and helped me understand opportunity zones, which is why I wanted to bring the awareness to you guys today and to the audience, both my community and his community, which share one thing in common, and that's the ADU strategy and the ADU model. So definitely understanding the ADU laws, rules, and regulations in your area also matters. But if you partner up with somebody who's already done that work for you, and has the experience, why not? So I can't thank you enough, Adam. I know that you're always super busy, but I got two fun questions. And before I do that, though, I gotta get some closing thoughts from you for sure.
Yeah, I did want to make one point just in terms of, what we've had in terms of a lot of the conversations are people in other areas of business, and the way the OZ program is set up, it's catered towards bringing in capital gains from your stock sales, your cryptocurrency sales, your other business sales, even real estate sales, if you're still, in the real estate space already, to then reinvest those monies, those things that would go toward taxes anyway, into property, into long-term investments for yourself and for the community. So, I think if you're in a space where you just sold some Bitcoin recently, or you just cashed out of a restaurant, or you're selling and getting capital gains in some other form, this is a great way to segue into that real estate investment that can be a more stable long-term investment model and strategy for yourself. So I think that's a huge piece. And then, even if you're waiting to get in the OZ space, you have properties and projects outside of the OZ space, you can still, look to bring those capital gains if you fix and flip, or if you buy and hold and sell some of those assets. Those are opportunities there to potentially get involved with the fund too. So, I mean, I think if there are any more questions, I definitely invite anybody to reach
Yeah.
out. We're happy to walk people through the program, walk people through our fund, and why we're doing what we're doing, and, just answer those questions.
I love that you brought up the crypto. I don't know why I didn't think about that. And it's not such a hot topic right now. I'm thinking of doing a
Hmm.
podcast, ADUs and blockchain, because you're right. We should be
Hmm.
looking at that option as well. We've got a lot of people who hold crypto, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and how can they also invest, right? It's just helping them think differently and showing them the benefits of it. So I think that's awesome. That's a
Right.
great exit strategy for people in the crypto world who want to come and invest in the real world. Right. So but okay, so the
I
fun
like the way
part.
you put it. That's a good way
Two
to put it.
questions. What's your favorite restaurant and your favorite place to travel to?
Oh, favorite restaurant. Uh, favorite restaurant. I don't know. This is it might have my favorite dish. It's a deep dish pizza from Pizza Papalis, but it's a seafood pizza. So it has crab and shrimp and different. It's a very unique taste, but it's delicious, and it's back in Detroit. So that's one of my favorites. And then favorite place to travel. I think the my favorite place so far has been Thailand. I love Thai food. I love the culture, and it was a very warm climate. I enjoyed it, and just nice people overall, and very scenic. So I would say that's been my favorite place so far.
Nice. I've never been to Thailand, so I'll definitely write it down. And you said your favorite dish was from a place back in Detroit. You're originally from Detroit.
Yes, originally from
Nice.
there. A lot of family still back there, so yeah, that's one of my favorite places to stop by if I.
Okay. Nice. Are you thinking of going back there anytime soon?
Oh yeah, over the next few months, we just had a little boy recently. He's only about 8 months old.
I've seen him on your story. It's so cute.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, he's a growing influencer. So he's had some chances to see family, in person, and a couple Zoom calls here and there, but I want to get back to Michigan and have him meet some more family and friends. So I'm excited to do that in the next few months before the summer, hopefully.
Right now that he's small, they grow up so quick. Alex is going to be 9 this year, and I can't believe like where has this time gone? 8 years, 9 years went by and like that.
Man,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine 8 years from
Right?
now.
It's like
So
you don't
that's
prepare mentally for those
that's
conversations or those
exciting.
experiences. But it's awesome. I love being a parent. I think it actually helps me in business, right? Because we need a lot of patience in what it is that we do on a
Hmm.
day-to-day, educating our clients, educating the community, and just bringing awareness because knowledge is power, and the more you know, then the more options you have. And we brought a lot to the table.
Exactly.
Adam brought a lot of knowledge, that you guys should take into consideration and then implement it in your current strategy, whatever that is. It can be the BRRRR
Hmm.
strategy, implement the ADU strategy, and now also consider in an opportunity zone fund. But you don't know what you don't know until you educate yourself. And so I got to say thank you, Adam. You really brought a lot of knowledge in such a short amount of time. You killed it. Like you brought a lot of info.
Thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate it, and again, thanks for having me on the show. Anytime you want to have me back on as a guest, I'm happy. Welcome to do it.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll definitely do a part two because I think you got a lot of good projects and I see you like doing a whole bunch of things. So
Hmm.
I mean, do you want to talk? Can you talk a little bit of what you got going on this year?
Yeah, sure. We just acquired a new property. This is in the heart of central San Diego. And this property we plan on, it's a mixed use facility that we plan on keeping some of the existing structures to have as a commercial space for kitchen purposes and whatnot. And then around the rest of the lot, it's about a 7,500 square foot corner lot. We're going to build in some residences. We're actually looking at using some modular homes there. So with the units that we're bringing in, so we want to continue to use some different innovations in terms of housing options between accessory dwelling units, modular homes, and gear them towards independent living and other options that are in the rental space. Because again, there's a lot of different ways that we can attack this housing issue. So we're just using the tools out there. We've been fortunate so far. We've had some great conversations with San Diego's local like city council representatives and some of the um, local organizations like the San Diego Regional Task Force for Homelessness and things like that to help us kind of see where the gaps are and where we can, really align our visions to help maximize our impact.
Yep, I've actually seen a lot of that happening, right? This whole mixed use. We're going to see a lot of that. And then
Hmm.
getting creative in the space and being innovative. You're doing an amazing job at that. And I'm curious to see what those modular homes will look like. So I'll connect with you on that. And again, I just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Please connect, reach out to Adam if you guys have any questions on opportunity zones. He is based out of San Diego, and we'll definitely have him on the show.
Hmm.
And I hope he provided a lot of value. If you guys have any questions, comments, or would like to contribute to the conversation on the back channels or on the comment section, let me know. And again, thank you, Adam.
Thanks, Stephanie. Appreciate it.
You
Have a great
too.
day.
See you on the next one. Bye. Thank you so much for watching the show. I will see you on the next one. And again, don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. This podcast was brought to you by ADU Insider, and you can check them out on my 10K card, steph10k.com.